So I complimented her on her hair being beautiful. And the first thing she said to me was, "Oh, well, you're lucky your man is from Eritrea."
That African women are more submissive than black women, right?
Anywhere else, you can find African man who is really that good. You can find a white man who's really good. So
Exactly.
Black American and half African. I feel like in the world there's either an over romanticization of Africa or an over like animalization.
Ladies, take it easy, okay? Because at the end of the day, I don't want you guys to take all of them. All right, they make sure you are staying away from the married ones. Even understand what is going on because African women are not competing with them. See, if there is anything that I've come to realize, you see, women don't value what they have until they begin to feel threatened by another woman. You see, recently I've been talking about how Black American men should marry our African women. You guys have been seeing lot of videos coming from me, right? Ever since, I'm telling you that Black Americans are now taking their relationship serious now, because now they are now like they can't even understand what is going on because African women are not competing with them. African women are now challenging them. African women are now saying, okay, since you say your man is not good enough, we are here to help you. We are here to put things together. We are here to help you package this man for you. Like, seriously, African women, I'm proud of you. I am proud of you. Because the truth is that lot of Black American women do not love and do not appreciate their men. I know a lot of you might feel like, oh, what is she talking about? Yes, a lot of them don't appreciate their men because they have this support. You know what I mean? But as a matter of fact, you have to love your men. You see, this was just a way for me to bring you and your men together. I want you to go and start rushing your men right now. Don't tell me I should shut up. Don't tell me I should get out. Yes, go and embrace those your men.
But you see what she said? Embrace your man. Love your man. She's not even saying, I'm going to take your man. But she is saying that I'm going to take your man because I'll do what your man wants. Come on now.
Go and love those your men. Go and care for them. Go and respect them. Because at the end of the day, these are your men. All right, these are your men. You like it or not, these are your men. When I say these are your kings. All right, so African women are now teaching them now how to properly care for a man, how to be loyal to a man, how to be feminine when it comes to relationship. Like,
You said, come on, that's the way I like it.
like, seriously, I'm really proud of our African ladies. All right, so African ladies, take it easy, okay? Because at the end of the day, I don't want you guys to take all of them. All right, they make sure you are staying away from the married ones. We are only encouraging those that are single. All right, those that are single and not married. All right, so do not go into anybody's relationship and destroy it. Don't do that, because I know you guys can be bad too. Anyway, I'm here joking. I see you on my next post.
I love what she said at the end. She said, I know you guys can be bad too. And I got to say this, right? Because people, they like to judge the bad of every country and put that on every female of that country, right? Like, for instance, I saw a guy, he went out to Kenya, he got a bad female, and then guys said, oh, no, that's everybody. Or a guy can come out to the Philippines, get a bad Filipina, and a guy said, oh, no, that's everybody. Or it can happen in Thailand, anywhere, right? There's bad apples everywhere. No matter which country you go to.
Take notes, Emily.
Betting is what matters. Because you see it all over the place. Guys, oh, well, no, you can't bring them back. You can bring a female back to America. You vet her first. You feel her energy. See how she is. Right? And then you make that determination. But for real, me, I wouldn't want to go back to America anyway, because the way life is over here. If my wife said she wanted to go back, I'd be like, wow, to go pay all that money? Maybe upstate New York. I don't want to get too deep into it, but let's continue. And I'm going to show you right now exactly what she's talking about. American boy meets Congolese girl. I heard that. Happy. He gave a black American man a chance. They're doing it. You can tell she's African too. And he took it far. American black boyfriend, African Asian girlfriend combo. Okay. African Asian. He got him an African Asian persuasion mix. My man doing it. He got him an African Asian. I heard that. Let's continue.
Watch the full video, please don't come for me. But one low-key fetishized relationship trend that makes me cringe after the interracial couples, where usually the man is Korean or the woman is Japanese, are the intercultural couples where the man is African and usually he's Nigerian and the woman is Black American. It really could be either way, you know, the man could be Black American and the woman could be African. I'm just going based off of what I
Wait a minute. All right. Wait a minute. Hold up. Kevin Hart on one time, baby.
I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I gotta tell my wife to Kevin Hart this lady.
Wait, first of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Because I understand what you're saying. Now you can even say me and my wife, right? She's Filipino. That's date, but it's not really because we all black. I don't want to get deep into it, but African and Black American, a lot of times they call us African Americans, even though we're the original people of America. But I don't want to get too deep into that. But the name African Americans, I just had to say that. Let's continue.
I'm also going to talk about why this can be cringy or negative sometimes and the stereotypes that it comes with. And I'm saying this as somebody who is half Black American and half African. I feel like in the world there's either an over romanticization of Africa or an over animalization of Africa. And I feel like when it comes to Black American communities, that's where sometimes it's over romanticized, which is completely understandable, you know, considering the slave trade and everything and having your culture stripped away from you and having to build your own culture. But the worst part is when it comes to Black American people is after freedom and everything, we still had to share our country and our land with our oppressors. Because this isn't something that I see too much with Caribbean people, but that's also because like Caribbean countries were predominantly Black. You know, when they got their freedom, their oppressors, the majority of them left. They mostly share it with, I don't know, they got mixed in with indigenous cultures, and then you had the Chinese immigrants and the Indian people who came to the Caribbean and everything.
I just got to pause it right there because, Martin Luther King was not fighting because he was against fighting. He was, championing before his I Have a Dream speech. He was doing work on them coming to take over American land from other soils, right? And then also, even Malcolm X. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Was said for a reason. I think my Black people need to learn. See, let me tell you, I got to come all the way real with it, right? Because we all from Africa. But check it out. Africans were all over the world since jump, because you can tell from the way the world map looks, it looks somewhat split, right? Because the world broke apart. But let me tell you this. Africans were already in America from Africa, but they're African American that way. Not that we was brought over there. It's deep. But let's continue because I got to do this video.
It's pretty obvious we're not supposed to lie about race. So a lot of us hide our whole lives. Like, we fall in love with men and we don't tell our families about it because we are supposed to find someone from our village, right? Like, so
Tell him.
someone tells me a story recently and it triggered me so much because he basically told me how, like, a long time ago he was dating an Ethiopian woman and he knows the rules. He's like, she's not supposed to be seen with me, but for whatever reason, she wanted me to come to her graduation. She invited me and I told her, I don't need to come. It's okay. Like, I know your family's gonna be there. Don't worry. I'm not offended that I can't be there. It's fine. She's like, no, I want you there. He goes up. Why would you act like you don't know him?
Wow.
because our families are just cold feet. Now, as much as I want to judge, I've done this to somebody I really liked myself. Because I saw my cousin walk by and I just acted like I didn't know this dude. I was so scared everyone's going to find out that let alone, I don't even, is it just that I like a boy? Like, I don't even know if he have cooties. Like, I don't know why I turned into this weirdo who just like walked away and I was like, I didn't know who he was. It was the weirdest thing. And it's because we're taught like, oh, it's for survival. We don't want our families to find out, or we don't want people to talk about our families, or whatever the case. I don't think we know how detrimental what we're doing is.
Yeah.
We're treating people as less than people.
Mm.
What? Under what circumstances are you not supposed to be seen with someone? Like, you don't even
I gotta pause it real quick. Tradition is keeping this Ethiopian woman from marrying, dating a Black American man.
do that to animals. You can't be seen with you. A human being. Let alone with Africans and Black Americans. It could be the other way around. The only reason we have any rights here is because Black people fought for the civil rights in this country.
Mm.
That's the thing. Like, I'm confused because who influences us? Especially Americans, like, we're influenced by Black culture. Whether we want to call hip hop Black culture, BET, whatever, all this stuff influenced us. It's who we want to be like. So why? I don't get it. Like, I don't know. And this is me. I did this to someone too. So I'm not even trying to judge. I just feel like in Africa now we have to be embarrassed. There's no reason to be treating somebody as less than human. Like, I can't be seen with you. Oh, I'm so
It really is sad that you can't marry outside your race. She said that she's Ethiopian, and according to their traditions with their people, they cannot marry outside their race. So she was interested in someone. Like if an Ethiopian is interested, a Black person from another culture, like American man, they're not married. They're frowned upon being with them. I find that kind of strange. Outside of your race, if you're Black, you're Black. That's the way I see it. I know that the East Indian culture is like that.
Yeah.
I had a friend from India. He said, I asked him, I said, why don't you guys marry outside your race? He said, because we want to preserve our race. Wow. I mean, I can understand some of that, but preserve? Like you're an animal. I mean, I'm not saying they're animals or anything like that, but like pedigree, we're going to keep the same, it's a human being is a human being regardless. This
They're not
world is
following
so
God's
screwed up in
commandments.
so many ways.
Yeah,
Like she's right when she said, who makes up these rules as far as these traditions are concerned?
And shout out to the brother there, but yeah, that's wild, man, because she's Black, he's Black, and the man wanted to get him Ethiopian woman. They got some beautiful women out there in Ethiopia. And if everyone doesn't know, like, every in Africa, you can find people from other parts of the world that look like people right from the motherland. When you see all those beautiful Colombians down in Colombia, that's from Africa. Even the Philippines. The first people here, Africa. The first people in US came from Africa. They weren't brought over there in slave ships. They came from there, right? The same thing about every nation, right? You see the Indians that were in different nations that they say were there. This wasn't some people that, Africans mixed in with those people. Let's continue.
My name is Diane Blinks, and I'm going to tell you a story. Not really a story, but my story. So, I hope you guys have all the time to listen to my story. So, I'm going to give you a clue. Well, it's about finding the true love, okay? And about dating, yeah. I'm going to tell you my journey or my experience dating a Black American.
She said it. She's not evil.
Trust me, it's not easy. It's not easy. Let me sip my coffee a little bit. It's a nice coffee. It's actually dark. I like my coffee dark and bitter too.
She's sending shots at somebody.
Rahi, Yeni Conjo. Have a Syrian girl. Put your camera on you. You look better than
Shouldn't have
me.
vibing with the wife for a date.
So I gotta do my throwback. Sunroof throwback in the wife's car. She listens to R&B, y'all. No Ethiopian music tonight because she with the Black American tonight.
You heard that? The other girl said, I can't do it. This girl said, screw you, parents. I'm sorry. Look, I don't want anybody to shun their parents, but I respect it. She said, I want the black man. Right? And not just any black man. You see what he's doing? He's in there doing that sweet R&B that she heard growing up all her life. You heard the other girl say it, right? She said the music I grew up listening to, BET, that's still my culture. I love it. Because right now you got some wars going on between African and African Americans. But come on now, stop it. And I don't even go to that country. But still, what's happening is nuts. And it's wild because I even tell my wife, you're from Africa.
This is Africa.
I tell her all the time, let's go.
What's this, my hell yeah? You're not just me. Put it on us. Yeah, get in the camera. They want to see you, not me. Yeah. What's your husband?
She loves it.
It's not just me. It ain't a good video if you're only showing me. I promise you.
It's just
What's up, honey? So we're on our way date night to a friend's
She's loving it.
dual birthday and retirement party. Date night. I hadn't had one of those in a long time. L1 signature throwback, sunroof throwback, and my wife's SUV. So we listen to R&B tonight because you with the Black American. We're doing the Black American way tonight, y'all. So, no hip hop when we get there. Honey Bobby here. Y'all gotta get y'all an Ethiopian wife. Girlfriend thing along, so wife. Yeah, girl. Habisha queen. What's the word the guy say? Just a kiss, man.
that part.
Habisha queen.
Shout out to her. She said, screw that. Mommy and daddy probably said no. Then she said, hell yeah. And she's in America anyway. Congrats to them.
Well, I hope you're all well. So anyway, I remember somebody in my comment section talked about like, hey girl, what do you have to say about African American? I'm going to try to tag her in this video because I mean, let's talk about that, shall we? Because I mean, before I go ahead to address that, you know, some of you are going to be like, oh yeah, so girl, you know about everybody, you know about everybody. You don't know me like that, okay? You just know the version of me that I choose you guys to see, okay? So yeah, I've been around African Americans. I know a thing or two about African Americans, okay? I've maybe dated an African American, okay? So yes, I'm here to tell you a thing or two about them, right? So for people who are still, you know, in that dating, try and error kind of stage, like you don't really like rushing for marriage or whatever, right? I'll highly recommend you to try dating African American. Please try to date an African American if at all you have, you know, proximity to them or whatever. Because first off, they are a vibe, okay? They have this swag, they have this aura around them. Like they are not all of them, okay? You gotta.
It's funny because what she's saying, I had to pause and explain. You guys just saw it, the guy vibing with her in the car. Their vibe, you just saw that. That's how we are. We can't help it, especially us old school dudes, right? We just vibe like that. But let's continue.
Get like the good ones, you know, the educated ones. You don't get the ratchet ones from the, you know, from the hood.
She knows the difference.
That's not the one that I'm telling you to go for. I'm telling you, you know, like just a black man, you know, African American. Those guys, they are vibe. That's all I can tell you all, right? that vibe, they got swag. I mean, they got style. So if I told you really like not really rushing, please, I would recommend highly everybody out there to try out with the African American, because girl, there are things that you don't know, but you might know when you know. I don't know what I'm communicating, but I highly don't recommend you marrying them. Should I say this out loud? Please don't get a baby by them. Don't get pregnant by them. I'm
Get
not
married
saying,
first.
oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying all of them are bad like that. No.
Exactly.
That's some good man. And I believe,
The
if I
hood
told you get a
rats.
good one, he's a good one just like anywhere else. You can find African man who is really that good. You can find a white man who's really good. So,
Exactly. Thank you.
but the most percentage, yeah. And statistically speaking, actually, most of them actually grew up in broken families. Yeah. They grew up around violence. That is not really something new to them. So they have the trauma. Okay, he might look like very normal, like a
No,
normal
like she a little bit
guy,
off with that.
but when he sits down and tells you the life stories that he got to go through growing.
Yeah, see, you can tell. I'm gonna stop it right there. I see what she's saying. I like that she said, not all of them, because it's not all of us. But she said most of us grow up in, that tragic environment, when it's not true. Most people are not in the hood, right? And even most black people are not in the hood. But she understands. She understands us somewhat. And believe it or not, us going across these waters, we're setting a standard everywhere we go. People know us as good people. We're not out there trying to cause anybody any harm. And, you know, what happened is the black men going across these waters made us look good. And so now the black man is loved all across the world, all across the board. Beloved even in the motherland in Africa, beloved in think of any country. You'll probably find someone there. I don't not everyone, but a lot of them. And if we're not there, they probably want us there. Let's continue.
That African women are more submissive than black women, right? And I thought that for the longest of time. Like, I thought maybe they were right. But when I got to talking to a African woman on one of my lives, and I just heard everything she said, it kind of aligned with the older black woman. Like, it reminded me of my grandma. Now, if you know me, you know that I do not like the way my grandma was in her marriage. Like, I don't like my grandma's marriage. I don't think it's a perfect example of a marriage, and it's mainly why I never wanted to get married, because the example that she set, right? And so as I'm talking to this African woman, I'm starting to see that that's not a cultural thing. That is when women were, it's like a mentality thing. Like, they were taught that the man pays all the bills. You sit at home, you cook, you take care of these kids, you do all this, right? But that man can disrespect you. That man can do whatever he want to do because he pays the bills, right? And I asked the lady, so did you ever want to leave? And she said, yeah, but where was I gonna go, for one? And I didn't have no job to even leave, right? So then I'm starting to think about my grandma, and I'm like, same situation. So it's not that these women are more submissive, it's that these women they have been raised to play their role, because that man has to take care of you because you can't take care of yourself. And so it looks as if the American black woman today is not submissive because she can hold it on her own, right? I don't have to deal with no disrespect from no man, because I can handle this I can sell this shit by myself, right? I can take care of these kids, I can cook, I can clean, I can pay the bills, I can make the money, I can do everything by myself, because at that point, what is a man doing for me? Those ladies are so unhappy. That lady said she was unhappy with her husband the whole time, and the moment her kids got older, she left. My grandma is unhappy, okay? She can smile all she wants. That lady is an unhappy lady. Well, no, let me not say this. My grandma is a very sweet woman, but self-esteem wise is low. Like, my grandma showed me of what I didn't want to be in a marriage I did not want to be in. And that's why I'm so afraid of commitment, because if I get stuck with anybody like my grandpa, I'm going to prison.
I don't have to say anything. You guys definitely break down this video in the comments. All right. I'm not going to break this video down. I've done too much breaking videos like this down. You guys break it down because the trauma. This is trauma. I won't get married because a lot of them don't want to get married because of past experiences that a lot of men nowadays don't do. Right? What was done before, if like I'll give you an example. You had an African lady broke down, some men are like that, but you can find white men like that, you can find green men like that, you can find all men like that. Every society. So for you not moving ahead in life and enjoying, and she has a kid in the back. Baby mama culture.
Neither side created. Okay, but can we really talk about this, please? So I am first generation. Both of my parents are from Liberia. I was born and raised in the United States. So I got to witness firsthand both sides of this argument. So the thinking in a lot of different African cultures is that Americans are lazy. They live off the government. They don't value education. They don't take anything seriously. And the reason they think this way is because in most African countries, you have to pay for school. So they feel that people who have the opportunity to get a free education should be much further in life. And while it seems simple and straightforward to them, they don't really understand the institutionalized racism and the systems that were put into place to make sure that people don't succeed. Because they didn't grow up in this system, they don't really understand how it works, which makes it a lot easier for them to judge. Now, on the other hand, I was in school when everyone was being called African booty scratchers. And I'd always be like, but I'm African too. And they'll be like, you're not a real African. These would be the same people that say, oh, Africans stink. Africans always have attitudes. Africans are so rude. To understand
They were
is
right
that
when
people
they
in the
said
United
she's
States
been
of
on
America
Africa.
grew up watching stereotypes of Africa that are predominantly false. And the ones that were even somewhat true were not recent. So many people think of Africa and think of jungles and savages because that's what the US media promoted. When in actuality, Africa is thriving. They have infrastructure and cities and technology the same as we do in the United States. But if that was promoted on TV, people would want to go back there as opposed to staying here. So like the original poster said, we're having these conflicts off of ideas that are not our own, off of false narratives that were built to keep us divided. But I think if we actually took the time to listen and learn, we see that there are a lot more similarities than there are differences.
You know, but you have to be a person that wants to see it too, you know, because if you like, I don't watch regular TV anymore. I watch YouTube and I got Netflix again, but I'm going to cancel that subscription very soon. But you look up anything about Africa on the internet, you see it. You see the cities. Like I saw lions hopping over fences in very decked out cities in Africa. That's how it is. Like lions, they have to come. They living with the people because they have nowhere else to go. It's still a lot of places for them to go. But you guys know what I'm saying. Like a lot of areas, a lot of communities are being built, and the lions got to go somewhere. The wild animals got to go somewhere. So they have lions, but the good thing about that is that the lions, they kind of, used to being around humans, and they're not out there just killing people left and right. But still, it is still dangerous. But yeah, what's happening in Africa, I think everybody's aware of it now. If not, you definitely need to start watching YouTube like I do and watching some African content. But yeah, let's continue to the next one.
Than us because your hair isn't as kinky.
I have to comment on this. I was debating back and forth, but I have to give my 2 cents. This woman, she's talking about a Somali woman that has a hair oil business to grow your hair. And I guess someone commented that she was wrong for marketing her products towards African American women, knowing that she had a genetic advantage as a Somali woman and that their hair was not going to grow the same way as hers. And I just want
Not a genetic advantage, but knowledge. That's what it is. Knowledge. Listen.
I want to say that this way of thinking going on 2024 is so tired, so trash. And this is coming from East African myself. I have friends all across the diaspora, you know, East African women's, West African women's, North African, South African, Caribbean women's, Black American women's, all across the diaspora. And we are so diverse. I've seen it all, you know, we're so diverse. Even Neil deGrasse Tyson said that Africa is the most genetically diverse continent on this planet.
It is.
So
it is.
what that
Everybody
means
comes
is
from Africa.
you will find the tallest person in the world in Africa,
And
the
the shortest.
person in the world in Africa, the lightest person in the world in Africa, yes, and the darkest person in the world is in Africa. That goes for everything, right? Including hair. So, you know, all different types of textures, lengths, retention, styles, whatever, will be found in the continent of Africa and all of the diaspora, right, that come from Africa. So it's, and I don't even want to blame the person that made that comment, you know. I think this is just, I know this is the seed, the disgusting, rotten seed of self-hatred and white supremacy. You know, even me, I'm East African, I'm Ethiopian, and I you know, was talking to this Eritrean woman who said this wild ass comment to me, right? And this is no hate or any like shade or anything like that towards Eritrean women. This woman does not represent the way that they think, because my man is from Eritrea. Most of my Habesha friends are from Eritrea, and they all said that this girl's goofy as hell for saying this, right? So I complimented her on her hair being beautiful. And the first thing she said to me was, "Oh, well, you're lucky your man is from Eritrea, because your kids are going to have nice hair, better hair." And she argued that Eritrean women have better hair than Ethiopian women because they're closer to the Red Sea, which means that they're closer to the Middle East, and that their women were sold as sex slaves to the Middle Eastern countries, and that's why their hair is silkier, longer, you know, essentially better. I was so embarrassed. I was shocked that she actually said this to my face, but I was so embarrassed because there was a Haitian woman sitting with us when she said that. And on behalf of East Africans, I was embarrassed for her, right? For us, for what she said. Because we already get accused of thinking this way. And this is not me trying to discredit what this creator is saying that I'm stitching, right? I'm not here to gaslight you, sis. I'm not here to tell you that you're making it up, right? I literally experienced it myself. And it's unfortunate that we think this way. And again, it just all goes back to white supremacy and self-hatred, and how they still got a grip on our minds all these years later. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got us this messed up in the head, that we are arguing and fighting amongst ourselves and saying that, well, because my skin is lighter than yours or my hair is longer than yours, I'm closer to whiteness than you, so that makes me better than you, that makes me more attractive than you, that makes me more whatever than you. It's really sad that going on 2024, that we still think this way. So yeah, on behalf of any, you know, Black woman that's ever made you feel this way, like, so gross.
Yeah, so I gotta say this. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but if you look in Genesis 2:13, right, when it mentions the Gihon River, one of the four rivers of Eden, flowing around the land of Cush, which is historically identified with Ethiopia. The text describes the river compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. So Eden ran through Ethiopia. It ran from Ethiopia all the way to the Arab countries, right? And so the first man was from over there, right? So what was he? And if the first man was created in God's image, if the first man was created in God's image, the Bible tells you God is a black man. Think about it. But yeah, I just had to share that. The whole world, exactly like you said, all textures come from Africa. We're all from Africa. Some people may have gotten, if you take an Indian person and you take an albino from India, he looks like people in Russia. He looks like people up there in Europe. Where would they have to go from India up to where? When they were albinos, where did it go? Thank you for watching. Please be sure to subscribe.